All right, we got somebody real special on the phone. If you could introduce yourself, homie.
Yeah, your boy Loaded Lux. You know what's up when I'm rolling up smooth all the time about this time. You ready to work.
Loaded Lux. Now, you had quite the summer this year, man.
Yeah, it was blessed, man. It was real blessed. Unprecedented in hip-hop. It was one of those moments.
Now, you've been battling for quite a while. I mean, from the DVDs to, the battles on YouTube to everything. Were you, like, whenever you were going into the battle this summer, did you even expect it to do this well, to be this big of a deal?
No, it actually superseded my expectations. I'm not even going to lie to you, Stess. It definitely did. I knew going in, though, we was definitely going to be prepared in tip-top shape, you know. Yeah, they ain't seen me in like 4-5 on that platform doing what I do, so I definitely had to put on a show for the people, the fans, and just for the culture in the whole.
Definitely. Can you kind of explain to everybody, like, because, I mean, like, 03, 04, 05, like, you were such a beast, like, you were, like, one of the #1 contenders, and then there was, like, a huge gap where we hadn't really heard much from you. What was going on during that time?
Well, I call myself challenging myself in other aspects of me. I'm trying to, broaden, how would you say, Lux is a brand. Just
okay.
To try to do that. At the same time, for the culture, being one of the leading faces, figureheads in the game, naturally we would be looked at as a catalyst. So I wanted to do some things to open up some opportunities, just, for the culture, broaden it, man. And, stepping stones that we did make allowed it to get to the point it is now, and it's still growing, and we're still doing so much in and outside the ring. So I just thought I'd take a break to be behind the scenes and get the Lions Den rocking. Lions Den was a league that I had started. And, brought Head Ice to the forefront, brought Goods, brought Arsenal, brought a lot of top contenders in terms of battle rappers, to the forefront. So I, want to entertain doing that, like I said, move forward the culture.
Definitely. And in the battle over the summer, going into it with Calico, I've been a avid fan of battle rap, and I actually got my start as far as on the station and everything through battle rapping. So I've been aware of you and your career for a very long time. One thing I have to ask you, and this is with all due respect, but during the battle, man, part of that you kind of stumbled a little bit.
Yeah.
What happened, man? I have to know.
Or did I?
Well, I mean, did you? I guess that'd be the better question. Did you stumble at that part whenever?
I always tell people stuff. Imagination is better than knowledge. And that's for the simple fact because there's always progressive steps that's being made. It's always forward and it's always in motion. So whenever you have that, man, and the mind is always mentally stimulated, it allows for it to create new brain cells and broaden itself. So with that, you got to look and, you can decide this for yourself. I mean, I know, a few know, but it's for people to elaborate themselves and go in and do the homework. Mm-hmm. I always felt that battle rapping in a whole is definitely it's an essential thing as far as hip-hop, as far as the culture, but it's also a learning platform. We stand up there and we create these pieces that are educational pieces, and at the same time, you have to delve in and you have to do your homework and think how we thought, which is deciphering them.
Yeah.
We had to think on a certain level to put them together, but you got to do it the same way in terms of deciphering them. So, in that regard, I'll never spoil it, man, because it always goes back to the #1 reason why we do this, and it's to allow for us to be mentally stimulated. So, keep it wine fine, it's more to find. That's what we say. So,
Definitely. And with the battle scene, I mean, years ago, it was a traditional thing to kind of go off the top, and then as time transitioned, it became more of a get prepared kind of thing. Whereas it'd be considered freestyling back then, and now more so it's more of a mentally written kind of thing. As far as when you started, were you real heavy in the freestyle part of it, or was it pretty much just kind of written whenever you were getting real heavy into it?
Yeah, freestyling was definitely cool. It was definitely one of those skills you had to hone with being considered a dope MC. Like, what's your freestyle game like? Certain things, how would you say, goes into just the making of an MC overall. Never knocking freestyling. But I think with the research that's being done now, and everybody with the whole premeditated steps to get towards the ring and the actual bout, I think it left room for more jewels or more substance in the material than if you just freestyling. Like, I don't take nothing away from it, because I mean, you might get a dope line or two every, I don't know, 16 to 20 bars with a freestyle, but opposed to having 4 to 8, you know what I'm saying, in that duration, you know, anybody would especially from a fan's perspective, you know, I want to get them the bulk entertainment. And I think the game can agree with that in general, that, you know, premeditating really works for a show. For sure.
Definitely. Were you worried in this last battle and a lot of your battles, you know, your bars have a tendency to be very intricate. There's a lot of, I want to say, like, meaning behind it that's not necessarily on the surface. Like, you have a lot of well thought out executions going into the battles. Are you ever worried about just the crowd just not getting it?
No, I always say that learning is infinite, knowledge is infinite. So you and I may be somewhere prospectively, and if, let's just say, somebody hasn't gotten it the whole way, they have not, or they have yet to be captivated by a line or two.
Yeah.
The more they work in search for what was being conveyed in that piece or that line, or they'll find it's so much in discovery. It's just a human thing. Like, it's by nature, we are curious. You know what I mean? But the only way to better ourselves, you know, we have to do the work for ourselves to better ourselves to get on that level. So we all are students and teachers at the same time, and that goes around the room. Like, everybody is such. So I put a lot of thought into what I say, and it helps me to build. But at the same time, I know people who listen to it, man. We all one and the same. We all connected in terms of how we see things. I mean, respectively, we may get there faster than others or slower than others, but we all got to get there. You know? So I would never dumb down for the sake of having a dumb society. I don't, you know.
Yeah.
That's not my thing. My thing ain't, you know, the one-eyed man is king in the city of the blind. But I think it's just a much beautiful world when we all can see.
Definitely. One thing that I really respect about you, and I want to say I really noticed maybe a few weeks ago, you were on Combat Jack's show, and y'all kind of discussed, like, you say things like you refer to people as beloved, you call people kings. Like, what kind of, I guess, I don't know how I want to say this, where does that exactly come from? Because, I mean, we're in a day and age where people aren't as respectful in their approach to people. Where does that, like, why, you know what I mean? You're a battle rapper. You come from a stance of just ripping somebody apart, but at the same time, like with the Calico battle, like, you're saying complimentary things too. Like, what? Kind of explain that to me, I guess.
Well, knowledge is key. I tell you what, I respect God's possession. So if I say to another man, I say king. You know, you're a man. I consider you a man when you have dominion, you know what I mean, over yourself, and as you're a family man, others, because you hold that fort down, and you can't handle your responsibilities in that regard. So, you know, I assume everyone that role, because they should be, you know, and if they're not, then, you know, life presents, you know, different roads of edification to where you can be, or it's all growth and development in this life. And if you keep running into, you know, undesirable situations, they are still signs and keys for you to get there to become who you're supposed to be, and that is, you know, king or queen. You know, either way though, you are supposed to be who you're supposed to be. So I just respect, you know, I have more respect for life, and I'm growing to you know, just. I'm always learning, you know what I mean? Always learning, and if I could be an example, you know what I mean, for others to teach me, you know what I mean, to learn more, then this is a cycle that's a reciprocity type of situation, man, for us to always keep building with one another, and I can't never lose sight of that. So I just, you know, hope to, you know, show others more, you know, in terms of leading by example. So that's why I always treat others with respect.
Definitely.
Got to.
Definitely. Also, another thing you just mentioned about family and everything, and you got the new video that came out. I saw it on World Star maybe this past week, where it's more or less a record to your son. And then I noticed, like, especially in the Calico battle, you mentioned his father, and you really break down things from that perspective. It seems that family is a very important subject to you. And I read that maybe in your past, things might have been a little rocky as far as that's concerned. Maybe if you would like to, if it's okay with you, maybe touch on that a little bit.
Well, as far as relationships, parent-child relationships, man, I believe fundamentally is necessary, man, for anyone's well-being, as them coming into their own and at least knowing who they are and who they should be in relation to others. If you're a man in relation to a woman, how you should conduct yourself, and vice versa. If you're a woman in relationship to a man. So I believe you learn these valuable lessons from a mother and a father. You know what I mean? So these are the way it's supposed to be. You know. So in understanding, you know, how valuable and how effective that can be. You know what I mean, for an individual. I always you know, like I said, always try to do music and any artistic expression. You know, say what's on my mind and say how I truly feel. That song to my son was an example that was shown to me through my father. Okay. You know, I was blessed to have my father in my life. So, you know, he taught me certain principles and discipline that a man should follow, and our code of ethics. Definitely. And how we deal with being a man out here in the world. So, you know, that's, you know, partly where my name, you know, Loaded comes from. Yeah. You know, it's all about being the total package. And I don't mean that just as an artist. I mean that as a man first. Okay. So, the man should stand on certain principles. So, that's what that record is there for. And I think, you know, like I said, man, those fundamental lessons, they start in the home, and they start at a young age with conditioning. You know? So, now, the record is a true record. With that record, I mean, and putting the video out, now I really respect you for putting that song out, because first of all, I really like the record. I really like the song. I thought the video was very dope. And I'm saying this just from an interview standpoint, not necessarily a personal standpoint, but that was a very bold move for you to make a record like that after the increased attention you got this past summer. What made you decide to really put that one out and put a video to it with everything going on? You didn't go the commercial route, you didn't go the pop route, you didn't go the degrading route. What made you, was it just because it was like you just enjoyed the record, or what was in your mind when you decided to add more to that song and actually put it out? Well, the whole project in a whole, the Beloved record, there's certain records on there that I wanted to, you know, was more close to home, the Definitive Me, you know, like the Santino record and the Choose record. That's for the LP. So this was a more personal look in terms of my life and who I am. This age of artistic expression. You find us in so many different aspects of artists, often doing what's commercially or what's politically correct. For what have you, I mean, I don't know everybody's circumstances. I can't speak, you know me, for everyone. But I hear it in the music, you know me, and I hear just the direction. My thing is, as an artist, you know, you're always responsible for the material that you put out there. Not only that, those who listen to your music, you know, what do they take from it? I don't see anything any different from the artist that stands in the booth or on the stage than the preacher that may stand at the pulpit, or you know, even the president when he stands up to say a speech. It's all, like I said, we're all students and teachers, and when you stand up there to say something, you can affect lives, man. Minds take from that different things, and then they shape their world around that, and they can choose to conduct themselves in certain manners. So when knowing this, I always, you know, said if this is going to be my life contribution, you know what I mean, to a culture that I hold dear and true to me, then I always want to say something. Even if we have fun and we make records, you know what I mean, having fun, and that's all right because we do have fun. But we don't just have fun, you know. I'm sure everybody on a day-to-day is going through what they're going through, you know what I mean, to, just stay sane out here or to even get better. So certain things have to go into that, you know what I mean? And if I can always convey somebody a message, man, that goes with the fight, you know what I mean, to do better and stay strong out here, then, hey, I definitely want to do that, man, because me having a son, and understanding that he's going to come into an age where he'll listen to music and he will be influenced. You got to lead by example, and I just wanted to always my music to be conducive in somehow or some way somebody's child to where they can take something from it and better themselves.
I got you. Very, very true. One thing that's been popping off real big for you, the phrase, "You gonna get this work."
Straight work, yes sir.
Did you realize how big that was gonna be after that? Do you realize that was gonna be a hashtag?
Not at all, brother. Not at all, man. I just said something that was true to me and how I felt, and
is that phrase, was that a premeditated phrase, or is that just something you kind of say out of habit?
No, it's just, it usually happens. It's real passionate, type of situation. Yeah, real passionate type of situation. We always talk about working hard, and if you see anything, we had to watch me work. Early on.
Yeah.
I had a song, Watch Me Work, and a kid, and you know what I mean. So I always, always talk about hard work. But that kind of happened right there in the midst of the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just felt strongly about this work. The young guy called me out.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
You got to sit here and catch all of this.
So please tell me on your website you got that on T-shirts or something right now.
To show that.
Okay.
LoadedLux.co.
I was making sure. Also, you are a native of Harlem, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So explain, what was it like for you growing up in Harlem? Because I guess that was during the 80s, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Harlem, that was a rough period for Harlem. Maybe you want to elaborate on that, because I don't think people really touch on that with you as much.
Yeah, well, the inner city in Harlem was affected like most inner cities, through everything that went on, from it being a drug trade situations going on heavy in the inner city. It was just a time when it was a lot of downtrodden in the community, and I was blessed, me and my siblings, to be a little bit more shielded.
Mm-hmm.
From things of that nature. I had older uncles and my father probably dabbled in it a little bit, and but that was those years, and so but I was shielded for the most part from it. But we still seeing things, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, still seeing things, and as I got older, still was affected by it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I got the lessons. I was blessed to get the lessons to know right from wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to get too caught up into it and say, well, okay, this is what it is, the experience, this is what we're doing, and is this the route you want to go? And once I got conscious to make it the wise decision in terms of where I wanted to go with my life, and that's when we woke up. But yeah, man, Harlem is definitely, the home of the hustler,
Definitely.
New York City in general is fast paced, you know what I mean? It's never gonna give you a chance to let things marinate, and you got to be quick on your feet, man, quick thinking, and
definitely
it represents that.
Definitely. Now, being that, with all the attention on you now, you're starting to inspire a new generation, but what inspires Loaded Lux?
Yeah, I think I feel what I take from the game, I always, and maybe it just may be something that's innate, and I know something, I haven't reached the pinnacle of life or potentially reaching the whole that level of living, but I think that's more so what inspires me. I think I try to grow not only through watching other leaders and other artists, and anybody that just does what they does that beautifully, man. I don't care if you're a commentator or painter or whatever you do. I think I get inspired by watching others at their place of work, and I grow through them. And even in doing what I do, it's just so much room to grow in life. So I think I'm inspired to live on another level. Like the same way you may not look at things that's right now the way you looked at it 2-3 years ago.
True.
You may have found a whole nother perspective, or you see it differently. You know what I mean? That gives you a whole nother emotion for it.
Definitely.
And this is what I long for. I long to live on another level. So I gotta always grow in my music, and I always gotta study, and I always gotta keep reading and writing, and because I don't know how far I can go with my pinnacle.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Just real quick, on a less serious note, Supastar J Kwik is a good friend of mine, and he was our liaison to be able to get this interview, which I'm very grateful for. And it seems like J Kwik knows everybody. So I was just curious, how you know J Kwik? Seriously.
Kwik, we got mutual friends, man, mutual parties. You know what I mean? It's been tight like forever. So
of course.
Yeah. So when we did the rundown and we got together, it was like, you know, me, a brother from another. Yeah. He's ambitious, man. He's motivated like I am. You know what I mean? And like, he's trying to live on that level. So yeah, me and Kwik hit it off, man. And shoot, we working on a project right now.
Yes.
As we speak. You gonna get this work mixtape put together now. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
Real crazy. I don't want to pull out all the dots. I'll leave that for when we come back on the show, Stess, and we promoting it.
Okay.
It's done. Yeah. And I'll let you know everybody else on it.
That's what's up, man. Kwik knows every damn body one way or another.
Yeah.
Of course, before you get out of here, man, Lux, I really appreciate your time. If you could kind of tell the people, you talked about the tape with Kwik, some other things coming up in the future from you that people can expect.
Yeah, definitely the tape. I want them to definitely look on out for that. They can definitely always go to the website, loadeddlux.co. It's .com, it's .co, C-O, like company.
Yeah.
You know, let you know the show dates I got coming up. Also, you can get them. You gonna get this work shirts. If you're a hard worker, like me and Steph, some hard workers, go in there you gonna get this work shirt. You know. So we going to work on that note. The mixtape is the full focus right now, and he's knocking these shows out. And you know, just staying focused on that note. I like to prioritize. You feel me? Steph, I do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to be jack of all trades, master of none. I can't live like that.
I definitely can understand that, man. Well, Lux, once again, brother, I really appreciate you taking the time out and talk to us. Like I said, I follow on all aspects of MCs, so I've been following your career probably for the better part of a decade now. So it's a privilege and an honor to be able to talk to you right now. I really appreciate it, brother.
Oh man, likewise, King. Likewise, that's my beloved.